Nothing takes its off life. Noxema medicated shave.
The closer you shave, the more you need Noxema. Noxema medicated comfort shave.
Come to where the flavor is. Come to Marlboro country.
You never know when you'll need a big wagon. And the 1967 American Motors builds big wagons. See them at your American Motors Rambler dealer now.
Live from Sacred Death Studios in Los Santos, San Andreas. Welcome everyone to Late Night Counter-Apologetics. And now, please welcome your host. He is the wise man of the Sacred Death Motorcycle Club. He is the sexiest man in all of word wrestling entertainment. He is the most entertaining man in the history of evolutionary biology. He is the virtual visionary, Mr. Dual PhD himself. Please give it up for the architect of the atheist apocalypse, the only man to have his vestments blessed by PineCreek, the most high apostle of the cult of the flying man. He is none other than the outlaw prince, the one and only Jesus who can save us, Dr. Heartbreak J. Pocket Locker BUNDY. I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy, I've got the look. The girls, while I got the moves, they really move 'em. I send chills up and down their spines. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. Y'all ready? I'll make 'em hot. I'll make 'em shiver. They just get weak whenever I'm around. They see me walk, they hear me talk. I make 'em feel like their God ain't real. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just the U.S. champ. I'm not a fucking chump. Sal Cardova, I am coming for you. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why on earth would you antagonize me even further? You have gone after StupidWh0reEnergy, and that was not the right move. We are talking about going after the leader to my edge, the Maurice to my Miz, the Miss Elizabeth to my macho man Randy Savage, and you're gonna fucking pay for it. That might flip though. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. I've got the look that drives the girls while I got the moves that really move 'em. I send chills up and down their spines. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I make them hot. I make them shiver. Their knees get weak whenever I'm around. They see me walk, they hear me talk. I make them feel like they're on cloud nine. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just... Welcome everybody to a very special edition of the motherfucking OG show. I am talking about that late night Counter-Apologetics. And no, Sam wasn't ready. Why aren't you ready for late night Counter-Apologetics? You need to be ready. Sam is here. He's been alerted, alarmed. Now he's ready. The fucking Refiner's Fire is here. Jewish Space Laser is in the house. Liberty Bell, the sexiest United States championship in the history of Word Wrestling Entertainment, is in the house. The motherfucking furry handcuffs are in the house. I'm ready for a little bit of boop, 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 boop action, if you know what I'm talking about. Now listen, folks. We got to talk about fuckface Sal Cardova. But first, before we do that, let's catch a vibe. I don't even know what to say about this stupid motherfucker. He keeps trying to, he doesn't understand there's no competition. That's his motherfucking problem. That's his fucking problem. I got to roll up some more weed, man. You know what? Can't do this, man. Yeah, I need a drink, man. We got to jump straight into communion. I'm sorry, it just has to happen. Listen, folks, you need to raise your glasses and hold on to your asses. Through him, with him, in him, in the unity of the flying man. All glory and honor is yours who flied for our sins forever and ever. You may drink, and goddamn it, you're gonna need it with this Sal Cardova shit. Holy shit, this fuckface. Sal fucking Cardova. And you can hear them church bells ringing. Yeah, it's some drama. It's some drama for my baby's mama. I don't even understand what is wrong. What's wrong with this man? He comes after me. He comes after Mike. And now he goes after my number one. He goes after StupidWh0reEnergy. This man has a death wish, y'all. A death wish. A fucking, your tequila needs to be all the way gone, and you might need some more tequila.
Don't worry about what the people doing.
Tequila makes me want to fight. It might be a tequila night.
Worry about yourself, like I'm saying.
I got the Jack Daniels
Bigger
going.
than me, bigger than you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Sal, it's bigger than me, it's bigger than you.
You always making excuses, we ain't got time for this.
You always making fucking excuses. Let me get some soda.
But that negativity, suggestions, fuck all that shit, my nigga. Yeah. No competition. I'm feeling so fabulous. You niggas mad as shit, but it do not matter, kid. So what's the comparison? You niggas ain't zagging yet. Tell your homies stop gassing you before we pull up and embarrass you. No competition. I'm feeling so fabulous, and you niggas mad as shit, but it do not matter, kid. So what's the comparison? You niggas ain't zagging yet. Tell your homies stop gassing you before we pull up and embarrass you. Yeah. Still watching for clones, but they all over the globe. Probably why I say whoa. Young nigga never made money from stoves, but went hard with the zones. Me and Henny broke it down way before. Now we killing shows, just act like you know. Whoa. Got a new bitch from the bottom. Still never change out my niggas from potters. Honest, I've been feeling golly. You get in my way, then you leave me no options. Niggas thinking this a race, till we put them in their place. Leave their family with a ghost. Then we pull off in the race. I'm feeling so fabulous, and you niggas mad as shit, but it do not matter, kid. So what's the comparison? This nigga ain't zagging yet. Tell your homie stop gassing ya before we pull up and embarrass you. That's what time it is. It's Flying Man pull up time. I'm feeling so fabulous, and you niggas mad as shit. Everybody, communion, happy, all of that time, fellowship, folks. Cheers, beers, and here's to the queers. Tell your homie stop gassing you before we pull up and embarrass you.
It's no competition. You niggas be lying about how you be feeling. Saying you Jordan, you not even Pippin. Or Rodman when he was with Pistons. You blondie, you lying about all of your visions. Your paper be short like some midgets. I used to
your
step
first
out
stream, Uncle Bobby said to me, yeah, Uncle Bobby.
My visions. I had to distance myself from some people cause they just be.
Yeah, Uncle Bobby.
I wasted some time, I never get back. Like
why I do that?
You niggas be bitching, it's just to be seen and put on the map. I only know some niggas who know how to spin up a check and get it right back.
Don't forget this Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern, you can check out The Blackout featuring me and Uncle Bobby on Pocket Locker and Gin and Truth. Anywhere you watch Pocket Locker or Gin and Truth.
I'm feeling so fabulous, and you niggas mad as shit, but it do not matter, kid. So
what's the comparison? You niggas ain't zagging yet. Tell the homie stop gassing you before we pull up and embarrass you.
No competition.
Shout out to Hippie Smiles for
so
my bones.
And you niggas mad as shit, but it do not matter, kid.
the comparison? You niggas ain't zagging yet. Tell the homie stop gassing you. Before we pull up and embarrass you. No competition.
All right, y'all, we gonna let it roll. We gonna catch a vibe with one more. BBVW. What's up, Richard Madsen? Richard Madsen's back for more. Nah, we appreciate you. Good to see you, Richard. I can't sing, but tonight I'm gonna try. She got all the things that I seen online, but the one that I'm with gon' ride for a lot. The problem really is bad bitch verse wide. StupidWh0reEnergy, I don't know what's wrong with this man. He's gone too far. Gone too far.
She ain't showing off her assets, just to level up her status.
Shout out to Hippie Smiles. Y'all need to get you a mason jar bones from Hippie Smiles. I hooked mine up with a couple of custom bowl piece. Really phenomenal piece.
Headed home to my main chick. Yeah, she might do some complaining, but I'd rather her than a fake chick who's stuck on herself and she brainless. Focused on loving the same way. Got no time for the game, babe. We're getting old fucking lame shit. Sing, but tonight I'm gonna try. She got all the things that I seen online, but the one that I'm with gon' ride for.
Yeah, after this we gonna get right into this sound. We gonna figure out what this fuck this nigga trying to say about me and StupidWh0reEnergy. And y'all already know, I hate to spoil it for you. Should I spoil it for him? The nigga sound fucking scared of us. Also, I lied to y'all. I lied to every single one of you. I'm sorry. I lied to you. I did. I had to do it. I'm not a Christian. And sometimes I have to sin. Sometimes I just have to spontaneously sin. And I need to hear StupidWh0re's Pull Up. So after this song, I'm gonna listen to StupidWh0re's Pull Up before we start the song, the program. If y'all think that's too much music, at the beginning of the program, don't hit me up in the comment section because I really don't care. Yeah, I'm making executive decisions. I'm the man with all the gold. I'm the man with the championship. It's my show. It's my channel. I want to listen to StupidWh0re's Pull Up after this. I can't sing, but tonight I'm gonna try. She got all the things that I seen online, but the one that I'm with gon' ride for life. It's Friday night. You should be relaxed. You should be chilling out. You should be in a groove. You should be trying to link up with the gang. You should be gathered around the refiner's fire in the spirit of fellowship. You know, how dare you be so racist? I said it, that's racism. When they come up in here and they say, no, I want you to be on script. I want you to be on 10 minutes. I want you to do, no, you're just telling me the only way to YouTube is like a white boy. I don't want to YouTube like a white boy. Quite frankly, I find those expectations reminiscent of colonialism. That's what you want. YouTube colonialism. It's awful. Racism. Should be ashamed of yourself.
Anytime that you need me, we gon' pull up. Damn right, I got the hook up. And say you gotta act brand new. Nah, I can't stand you. Have to bring you round just to show what the fam do. No text, no calls, no reasons to be involved. Young John Wall taking what's given and get it off. Come on.
What you doing, girl? Pull up on me. I spend a lot of time living in the moment. I'm in the city with the gas roll for you. And I come get you and we bend them corners.
I'm the worship pastor around here. That's right. You gotta have some music in the worship service.
Days I'm in the hood like what it is. I might slide up on you like what up, bitch. Cause you know I like to play with you. Come spend the day with you, come kick it, seeing what it do. You feeling comfortable, I make the move. But now it's different though, I guess it's cool. You wasn't shy about my love, remember after school the days when I picked you up. So now you fucked around and changed, almost messed it up. See, I ain't changed, baby, trying to catch a plane with you. Came back around to show you that I'm made for you. And here you go with the same old song on your weekend shit. I might just wish I never met a like called Tom Miz, but I ain't tripping, no. Stay up on the grind, we gon' get some dough. And you got that good ass brain, I let you know. Really wanna let you know. Tell me where you wanna go and what you wanna know. Whoa. What you gonna do? Pull up on me.
Oh yeah, they got service dogs and shit. Commercial dogs. Dogs be having jobs. Oh, now you looking alert.
No disrespect.
Oh, now you looking alert. Yeah, you don't want to have to get the real job.
I can tell you about it.
You don't know dog jobs. Real dogs be in the war. They be in the bobsledding team. You lucky you don't really got one of them real jobs. I even seen a dog when I was at the mental hospital. They can make you hang out with crazy people all day.
What you doing, girl? Pull up on me. I spend a lot of time living in the moment. I'm in the city with the gas roll for ya. Can I come get you and we bend them corners? No disrespect about me. No disrespect about me. City, so you know about it. So you know I'm about it. I can tell you about it. Now let me tell you about it. When you playing, no, I have to shout it.
You know work sucks because as soon as you start doing it, you start threatening everybody in your life that's not. That's how you know people ain't really supposed to be working. All right, let's listen to this fuckface right here. I don't even know what's wrong with this man, y'all. This is a new type of delusion, y'all.
There's this thing about Jay Bundy.
And then you laugh. Nigga, what is you laughing about?
I got some feedback.
Nigga, what is you laughing about? You acting like this thing with Jay Bundy's a fucking joke. Jay Bundy is fucking coming for you. Jay Bundy is looking and exploring all the various options and ways to get at your ass. You narrowly escaped me on modern day debates, okay? But I'm trying to set up another modern day debates. I'm trying to get you at the pay-per-view. I'm trying to get you on your channel, my channel. Sal, you have... Let me just tell y'all something. I'm going to just tell y'all something right now. It's a couple things y'all need to know. Number one, Sal's a stupid fuckface, and he's fucking done. Number two, I promise you this, guys. What you see tonight is just a little Oppo research. It's just me fucking trying to figure out what the latest slip-up from this motherfucking fuckface is. I promise you I have some shit cooked up that you are going to want to see about Sal. I promise you this stream is not the end of this. This is not it. And it doesn't even matter if the motherfucker Sal just keeps thinking he can avoid me. I'm not stupid, Sal. I know what the fuck you did. You tried to fucking call me out when you were on Modern Day Debates against R and Rob, when you thought a lot of people were watching. You tried to sound cool. Then the very next day, you went on your channel that you know I watch, and you tried to back out of it. You tried to back out of it and say about I'm crazy and you don't feel safe. And then you tried to come up here to your little Evidence and Reasons Academy, the channel you don't think I watch, but I knew about it. I heard you talk about it, nigga. I ain't stupid. I know you got another channel. And now you're going to try to come up here and talk shit about me. But you don't understand, bro. I hate the way you dealt with Rebecca, so you're fucked. I hate the way you talk about Evita, so you're fucked. I hate the way you come at the motherfuckers that helped me make my living and grow my career, so you're fucked. The way you talk about Mike from Answers in Atheism, Sal, meet me in the ring so I can inflict pain upon you. Do you not understand that that's my game, Sal? Do you not understand that I'm the United States champion of Word Wrestling Entertainment? You not understand the fucking difference between me and all these other fuckers on YouTube? Sal, I only use talking as a means to an end. Promos, debates, monologues, dialogues, panel discussions, debates, fucking gaming streams, Gather, Whereby, Restream, StreamYard, OBS. Sal, Let me break it down for you quite simply. I am the United States champion of Word Wrestling Entertainment. I keep trying to tell people They get mad at me in the production truck, and the producers go off in my ear. I don't give a fuck. I'm the champ. I'm the fucking headliner. They ain't gonna do shit about it. I can say what the fuck I want on my fucking show because I fucking set the table so the producers can kiss my ass. I'm gonna lay it out very clear for you. Everything you see on a wrestling show leads to a fight, Sal. The words are just bullshit exchanges that lead to a fight, Sal. I want to fight you, Sal. At the end of the day, you are going to have to bring your monkey ass to the ring and deal with me. And when it happens, Sal, I am going to bring a symphony of fucking pain to your monkey ass, Sal. And I am salivating over the opportunity to get you in the squared circle and fucking hurt you. Now go to the four corners of the earth and think about what you've done.
Back this morning
You're
and say,
fucked.
Sal, I was so upset with you because you're egging him on and you're helping promote him. The guy's crazy.
Yep.
I was like, really?
He is.
And he said, yeah.
I hear he's bipolar.
In fact,
I hear he's been locked up in psych
concern was
ward.
raised for my
I
personal
hear he's
safety.
got a
The guy's
criminal
just kinda
record in multiple states. I hear he's part of a fucking biker gang. I hear he's part of some fucking wrestling group.
Do some of you know who he is?
I hear that
let me see.
motherfucker's honest
So there
to
is-
goodness dangerous.
I'm hearing funny sounds out there.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
I hear voices in my head. They ain't talk to me.
There was some reference to where he said, I need a hug or something. That was a joke, an inside joke.
Yeah, it was a joke, Sal, because you're creepy and gross, and I would never hug you. And I do need a hug, but definitely not from you, Sal. But what I found so ironic about your video that you made called That I Need a Hug, but the funny thing is it was really just a replay of my promo. You really added nothing to it. Because the best thing you could ever do is just replay my shit and shut the fuck up because I bring all the entertainment and you're lame as shit. Sal, the truth is you and I know that the unfortunate thing that you have to realize is as much as I hate you and I'm the fucking end of you and I'm here to literally destroy you, I'm the best thing that's ever happened to you. I'm literally the spiciest, sexiest, most vibrant, most relevant, most scientifically credentialed thing that's ever come into your life, Sal. So I want you to enjoy this process because this is the closest to legitimacy you're ever going to get. So I need you to enjoy it. I need you to feel it. I need you to chill out. Stop worrying, Sal. I got my people on it, Sal. We're going to take good care of you, bruh. You're so worried about, he's dangerous, he's scary. Oh, my goodness, I'm worried about my safety. Nigga, run and hide. I understand you need to run and hide, nigga, because I'm coming for you. But you got to understand, Sal, I'm in this for the business. In this for the business. You understand? And so don't worry, man. It's like, you know me, bruh. I be telling the people all the time. Champions
too terrifying.
Have championship responsibilities. Yeah, the nigga too terrified. You need to chill out. Stop being so motherfucking terrified. I keep trying to tell you. Champions have championship responsibilities. This is how it goes. I fucking hate you. And I'm definitely gonna destroy you. Like, let's just be honest about that. There's really no comparison. Like, this is easy for me. It's kind of fun. But then you went ahead and made it personal. So now I legitimately can't stand you. I legitimately hate you. I legitimately think you're awful. And I legitimately want to do very, very, very terrible things to you. But I'm in this for the business. And champions have championship responsibilities, so I need to do what I have to do to you in front of the whole world.
It has to be scheduled. It has to be public. It has to be blasé and the glavinoids with the proper lead-in time so we could put the asses in the seats and charge the people, and I can get the super chat money. So chill the fuck out. I keep telling you, I'm not going to let anything happen to you. I got my people on it. My people are watching your people, watching my people, watch your people. So we're going to make sure that you are in good shape. No, there's like a zone. Nigga, my protection is better than Jesus, the Holy Spirit, Yahweh, and all of them niggas. You know what I'm saying? When I say to the Cult of the Flying Man, nobody touches Sal. Okay? That means nobody touches Sal. So go ahead, run your little mouth. Now, what you done fucked up is you done mistaken my kindness for weakness. You mistaken the distance for the fact that I can't get to you. And that's where you fucked up. You take it too far. You're fucking with Mike. You're fucking with StupidWh0reEnergy. You're going a little bit too far, Sal. You're forgetting that in the end, the devil will have his due. You and I will have our reckoning. We will have our confrontation. You will have to deal with me. And so you are showing me how truly pathetic you fucking are. But again, don't worry, Sal. Nothing's going to happen to you. Because people understand that champions have championship responsibilities. And I am so desperately longing for you, Sal, that I have made sure everybody knows that nothing is to interfere with our one-on-one get-down. So relax. Sleep easy. You have absolutely nothing to be afraid of. Yet.
And I'll show you what the inside joke is.
It's all good, Sal. Exactly.
The inside joke was, I did a video said there's an evolutionary biologist who needs a hug.
Yeah, no, you didn't do a video. You didn't do a video. See, I did a video. And you just played a clip from that video, and that was it. And then you missed the part where I exposed you. You skipped the part where I exposed you. You played the part where I talked shit about you as a preview, but then you didn't do anything with the part where I exposed you. It's okay, because it's fun, so I'm going to just keep exposing you.
Let's see if I can show.
Don't worry about it. It's okay.
Right.
I understand. It's show business. I get it. It's all good. All good.
So the title of this, the evolutionary biologist who needed a hug.
50 times more earwax than cotton swabs.
So first I have to get through the commercials, and I'll show you the video.
You also suck at broadcasting, Sal, by the way. BT Dubs. Intro video.
Why don't I include the audio? I want you to see this. Just so you can understand who Jay Bundy is.
Who Jay Bundy is.
I think you might be entertained. So let me get this all set up.
You're definitely going to be entertained. You're definitely going to be entertained by that guy.
Screen. I'm going to share my screen.
I think I'm cute.
And I'll just let you, you can enjoy this for your viewing pleasure.
Priestly duties handled.
It's only like 3 minutes long.
I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
And so there were a lot of questions last night from someone called
Ring
Jay Bundy.
Activated.
All right. So.
Oh, this was right after his little Armin Ra debacle. That thing where he embarrassed himself on the internet trying to debate people who know what they're talking about. All right, so yeah, we see it. You can share your screen in StreamYard. Oh, he wants everybody to read it. An evolutionary biologist needs a hug. Maybe deep down he just needs a hug. Yeah, Sal.
Sal.
He wants to play it again.
Shame.
Y'all, he needs to play it again. Is he finally going to react to it? Are you finally going to fucking add something to this? Are you finally going to add something? Let me read it. He made a video. It says an evolutionary biologist who goes by the name of Pocket Locker 86 is craving some attention from Sal. Maybe deep down he just needs a hug. Now listen, y'all. I haven't seen this. We're reacting to this live, y'all. I haven't fucking seen this. I don't know what the fuck he's doing, but I know he's picked. I've been trying to call his ass out, and now he didn't call out StupidWh0reEnergy, and it's like, oh my goodness. I already wanted to destroy this man. I was already having the most stiffest of fucking erections. I already was splooging all over myself at the thought of bringing this man's pain and ending his fucking word wrestling career. But now, I don't even think I want to. I don't even think I want to. Sal, I think I want you to stay around for a very long time so I can torment and torture you for the rest of your fucking days. Holy shit, Sal, you have no idea the can of psychotic fun you have fucking unleashed. You have forgotten, you have just forgotten that, Sal, you don't know me like that. You don't know what I'm capable of. You forget that you are a fucking weak-ass, pathetic Christian. That you're a pathetic man who relies on this bullshit idea of Jesus to draw in the dumbest, weakest of the fucking most pathetic losers who are the only people who find you fucking credible. Meanwhile, I take the highest minds in all of society and science, politics, journalism, all of that shit, and I think they're boring as fuck. They just won't stop boring me. Sal, I am in this for the business of pain, Sal. I am here to fight, Sal. I left the lab alone so I could come around and find somebody to fuck up. And you keep antagonizing me, Sal. What am I gonna do? I'm already splooging all over myself at the thought of ruining you. I don't know. Oh, God, it's just getting too good. Shame on you, my friend, for misrepresenting science so egregiously. It is some Robert Beatty type shit. I have been planning tonight's impromptu The funny thing is he's on some Robert Beatty type shit, but on some real shit, he then goes and accuses Mike of being a psychotic stalker. I mean, it's just like the projection with these motherfuckers is so deep. But it's all good, Sal. Dude, it's like when that fucking girl that you think is so fucking hot, likes you. And then it turns out more than that she likes you, she's like super into you. And then people start telling you about how the bitch talks about you when you're not around, and you realize, holy shit, she actually is more crazy about me than I am about her. And that's what I feel like with this motherfucker. He doesn't understand how much I hate him. And then he tells people he's scared of me and he's afraid of me. He actually tells people he's afraid of me. And then he turns around and provokes me even fucking more. And it's like he wants me to beat his ass more than I want to beat his ass. And he doesn't even understand how much I want to fucking crush this man. Pose on Sal for your... Sal, you're gonna get your satisfaction, you stupid fuck, because you're dumb, you're unqualified, you don't know what you're talking about, you're creepy, you're uncharismatic, you're a loser. I am, in fact, going to destroy you. You are, in fact, not credible. You're stupid. You keep citing the dumbest motherfuckers. You don't know what you're talking about. You keep coming at my mentors. You keep making this personal. You're making this too easy for me.
Viewing pleasure. But as I am the fastest rising star in the entire counter-apologetics community, I am grossly in sync, in lockstep, so to speak, with the will of the people.
Look at those tights.
In this entire industry. And so it just so happened that my broadcast tonight overlaps with Sal's live debate against T-Jump.
He counter-programmed me as well.
How about them apples?
How dare you counter-program me?
Let's get a couple of things clear. I have not been invited to debate Sal tonight.
That's right.
On top of that, I am far more entertaining than T-Jump. Amen, hallelujah.
Amen, hallelujah.
And I will not stop until I have victory, 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 victory. And since Sal is too scared to challenge the United States champion to a one-on-one encounter himself,
is he laughing?
Consider the champion challenging you right here, right now.
Sal, do you think I'm not serious
I will
about
not
this?
stand for being dodged.
Dodged.
If you were going to talk shit
dodged.
about evolutionary biology on
Sal,
the internet,
look away.
you need to bring that motherfucking nonsense to an evolutionary biologist.
That's right, Sal. Are you laughing?
But no.
Oh, you're laughing.
You'd rather
you're
debate
laughing at me, Sal.
T-Jump's
Sal, I don't like being laughed at. And you'd rather debate T-Jump's
and
chair.
then you use that nonsense to counter-apologize, to counter-program the most important counter-apologetic show
live when I'm live.
week and long. That, of course, being
Unless
late-night
you're part of my crew like
counter-apologetics.
James Apperson, how dare you be live when I'm live?
Sal, I will not stand for this.
How dare you be live when I'm live?
Consider yourself my
You're not James Apperson. I didn't give you a pass to be live when I'm live.
And if you want to do something about it, I dare you to try.
That's right.
Because you are going to have to kill me before you...
Now, is there any way in the audience, as you guys are now with me, watching me, watch Sal, watch me. Sal has now broadcasted on the internet him watching me after his own video of him watching me. Now, notice I called him out. Is there any chance he hasn't seen this? Can anybody say that this man is doing anything other than dodge me? Is there any fucking chance he doesn't get the fucking message? I'm trying to call this man out so we can fucking throw down. This is fucking ridiculous.
You can beat me for this United States championship. And in the meantime,
this is a message for everybody.
I dare you to
fucking try.
Because you are going to have to kill me before you can beat me for this United States championship.
I'm going to be the champ
and
for
in the meantime, I will whoop your ass every single time all over the goddamn internet.
Exactly.
I am calling you out. Let's see you do something about it. It's time to start the goddamn show. The champ is here, and I am on fire.
Now, yeah, Sal, what are you going to do about it? Is he laughing? Why is he laughing? I don't understand.
What can I say? And look who showed up. The man himself. So...
this is from when we were on his channel. We were on his channel when this came up. Okay, yeah, let's go.
Well, thank you for visiting here.
No matter how old you are, no matter what genes you are born with.
So, I will,
look at this,
don't worry, folks. Sal is in absolutely no danger yet. I wouldn't want anything to happen to him before he gets in the ring with me. The champ is always ready to wrestle. See you soon. Kisses.
Kisses. That's right, Sal. Come on. Come on, Sal.
So last night, several times, there's several super chats where someone makes a donation and people were pleading for Sal versus Jay Bundy.
They are.
I think
got to give the people.
I've been advised that maybe for my personal safety, it's not a good idea. I think Jay's a little unhinged. He might need some psychiatric help. So sorry, guy. You know, I think you need to obsess over someone else.
I know he put this on his little academic channel.
There was history between.
No, there's no history.
Indirectly.
No.
And so let me highlight what that is.
This is Sal's delusions of fucking grandeur.
And
Randy Savage, hey,
let me kind of give a little bit of history.
You know what you weren't dumb enough to do back in the Randy Savage era, unless you wanted to get fucked, including Hulk Hogan himself. You didn't go after Miss Elizabeth. But this fuckface Sal doesn't seem to understand that.
This breakthrough science reveals how this weird...
So, Robert... Mind matters. So just to introduce the characters here.
Sal, I would have been happy to beat your ass.
There was a show
we didn't have
recently
to
this
make it
year
personal.
On artificial intelligence, just to introduce the lab. So there is a lab by the Discovery Institute called the Evolution Informatics Lab, and also there's a project by the
So he talks about this Evolution Informatics Lab. Nobody knows what the fuck that is. Nobody cares. No, there's no rivalry with the Evolutionary Informatics Lab and the LTEE. This is one of these cases of fuckface Sal trying to give himself scientific credibility. In this case, only simply by being called out by someone. No. No, Sal. This isn't about Robert Pennock versus William Dembski and fucking Michael Behe. This has nothing to do with Rich Lenski. It's fuckface Sal Cardova. This is about fuckface Sal Cardova versus the motherfucker who wants to hurt, crush, ruin, and destroy Sal Cardova. I don't know. I don't think he understands what personal means. I don't think he understands what a personal issue is. I think he doesn't understand that this isn't about what happened between some old ass white dudes and some other old ass white dudes fucking decades ago. This is about what is going on between him and me right now.
Discovery Institute that deals with artificial intelligence. And
notice he's not anywhere on that.
It's called Mind Matters News.
Notice no Sal Cardova. Where's Sal Cardova?
There were 4 shows that involved me.
Oh, you're card counting, Sal? On card counting.
You can see it says Sal Cordova.
On card counting.
And this is where, actually, let me play a little bit of this. I want you to hear a little bit.
Do you want to talk pinnacle strategies?
Welcome to Mind Matters News. I'm your competitive host, Robert J. Marks. We're talking today to Sal Cordova, who made bucks card counting in Vegas. He's sharing his insight into the world of gambling, and it's just been a fascinating trip, but we want to talk about a little bit more. Have you ever taken advantage of your skills in betting with other people?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah,
a lot.
The entire month of 1 month in the summer, we're just me and Dr. Marks talking. We recorded it in his office.
Yeah, people don't know this because Sal Cardova used to be a card counter. He literally, there's casinos and shit he's not allowed to go to because he's literally a fucking, known fucking, they don't want to take his action. I'll put it that way.
Down there at Baylor when I visited this past May. So Robert Marks. Sal. Robert Marx is, so I'm just introducing who all these are, and it relates to Pocket Locker 86 and all this kind of the history. Robert Marx is a distinguished professor of
an experienced con man. That's
electrical and computer engineering. He had done work in evolutionary algorithms. He's an ID proponent. I would probably be kind of in the old Earth creationist camp. He's not a young Earth creationist. I don't know if he even characterizes himself as an old Earth creationist, but he definitely, it's a very interesting story. Sal? I think I could share this, part of his Christian testimony. He either became a Christian or then started seriously pursuing the Christian faith and living it, because he wasn't a very good academic. He was
what kind of reference?
Probably not hanging around the best crowds. But then when he got to college, the Lord worked on his heart. He became a very dedicated Christian, and then his academic career flourished. And
this guy's the worst.
He succeeded so much. He became a professor
even know who these people are. So what does this have to do with me and you? I have obviously absolutely nothing. Answer.
The title says it all. That he's a distinguished professor. He gets certain rights and privileges.
Oh my goodness! Nobody cares.
Called a distinguished professor by a university.
Sal, what they got to do with you, bro? What they got to do with me, you, StupidWh0reEnergy, bro? We talking about Avita, J Bundy.
He was in the movie Expelled.
StupidWh0reEnergy. What's up with that?
The movie Expelled about academics who were getting persecuted because of their sympathy.
Dog. I know you didn't put her name in there as clickbait, bro. Tell me you didn't put her name in there as clickbait. I gotta grab my grinder. I gotta grind up some weed. I gotta find something to do while this man fucking ruins my life. How long is this? Do y'all know how uncharismatic Sal, this is called anti-entertainment. You need me, bro. You fucking need me. You are so utterly unwatchable, unlistenable. Nobody can listen to you. Nobody likes you. What is wrong with you? I have actually watched Sal on YouTube, guys. I am telling you, his crowd is the most pathetic morons. We literally go in there and blow them up with fake prayer requests just to entertain ourselves, and the dumbasses are amen and hallelujahing and fucking praying for our bullshit that we just made up. Sal, you have no idea how deep my torture of you goes. Literally, my crew of atheists makes your crew of Christians pray for shit that we just made up just to fuck with you, Sal. I'd keep my name out of your mouth if I were you. Just saying.
Toward intelligent design. So there was a laboratory in 2007 that was being formed called the Evolution Informatics Lab. The existence of the lab got him into trouble, and the Baylor University shut it down. And then the president of the university got in so much trouble over that, plus some other things. They fired him, thank God, John Lilly. And Ken Starr, who actually went to my church, McLean Bible, went down to Texas and then became the new president of the university, and then made a public apology to Dr. Marx over the Evolution Informatics Lab. So some of you from like 14 years ago, there was a big movie, motion picture movie called Expelled. It featured people like Carolyn Crocker, who was at George Mason University. And she and I were in the prestigious scientific journal Nature 2005. When that article came out, 3 weeks later, she was fired from the university. It was very sad. She ended up in the movie. And then Robert Marx was in the movie because they shut down his lab. Now, the funny thing is, I was invited to be a graduate student at the Evolution Informatics Lab. And they shut that lab down. I ended up going to Johns Hopkins instead of Baylor. It worked out well because I was still working in the area. I didn't have to quit my job, and I could take care of my mom, my widowed mother, while I went to school. Lived in Virginia, commuted all the way to Baltimore, Maryland to take classes. And actually just south of Baltimore, there at the Applied Physics Lab, which is it's still up in Maryland. It was a long commute. And so, hang on, let me extinguish this phone call. I'm sorry about that. I better call. It's a friend of mine, and I need to find out what's going on. I'm about to finish up because we're talking about Jay Bundy here and my indirect history with him. So, the lab shut down. I ended up at Johns Hopkins instead. Didn't go to Baylor, but I maintained a distant relationship with Dr. Marks. We'd seen each other, and the project I was going to be working on, and I got offered a nice sum of money plus a graduate degree, was to deconstruct these evolutionary algorithms that claim to show that Darwinism actually works in biology. And one of those things was a project called Evita, which, and God bless you, Louis, for remembering this thing about Dr. Marks.
I remember
there's
that.
lots of stuff about this. Let me see if I could.
I remember when those Christians were persecuted for trying to fake their science.
So there is Dr. Mark, way back in 2007, this is 15 years ago. I'm just going to show the article here. Dr. Marks was thanking me when I saw him this past summer for standing up for him on the internet blogs and defending him. So there's this problem at Baylor University at the Evolutionary Informatics Lab. Let's see if they even mention it. Yeah, there it is, the Evolutionary Informatics Lab. Now that may sound kind of funny, that it's actually it is somewhat a laboratory whose results are actually critical of biological evolution, but it's an evolutionary informatics lab because we have things called evolutionary algorithms that are used professionally. And so what we can learn about evolutionary algorithms is you need a designer to make an evolutionary algorithm work. So Bill Dembski is really kind of big on like intelligent design, but maybe there's an intelligently designed evolutionary process. Of course, that is definitely not traditional young earth creationism.
Right. So in no way, shape, or form is what this man's arguing for redemptive of what he says it is. These people have been refuted for years. They've been refuted under oath. I mean, he's just literally spewing debunked nonsense. Sal is the worst. That's why he was the target of an episode called Sal is a Shitty Scientist. He's not good at this. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's arguing about all types of shit that has nothing to do with anything. And he knows this. And he just insists on appealing to people who don't know any better, that he sounds smart, but he's just a god-awful fucking human being who also happens to be clueless about science, who for some reason has a hard-on for a science he doesn't know shit about and is too fucking lazy to actually study.
Where you have a miraculous process we can't understand, and we're not expected to ever really understand it in detail. Whereas evolutionary informatics is the idea that God maybe designed a biosphere and natural selection so that
which there's no evidence for any of that.
It can guide a creature to evolve, but you still need intelligent design. I may be mischaracterizing this a little bit in my simplification. So the evolutionary informatics lab really is just seeing what kind of programming do you have to do to be able to make an evolutionary algorithm that, for example, can solve, the classic one's the traveling salesman problem. Like if a salesman has to travel to so many cities, what's the most efficient route so he's not going back and forth? Can he go from city to city? It's actually a very difficult problem to solve if you have a lot of points and you don't have a computer, but you can use what they call a genetic algorithm to come up with the best or a good enough solution to the problem of the traveling salesman. So because we have these genetic algorithms, we're just like, evolution works that way in biology. And some people try to extend that idea and say this is proof of evolution. And one of those groups was Evita.
That's not how it works at all. It's
Someone named Adami, I think Chris Adami.
That's the worst.
Ofria, Pennock, and Lenski. The last two names are important.
And then he's misrepresenting this, right? Like, Charles Lafria started Evita. Chris Adami I was Chris Adami's TA. Charles Lafria was on my committee. Robert Pennock's my teaching mentor, and I was in Rich Lenski's lab. Lenski and Pennock are just not programmers, didn't design Evita. They came into this situation later on. It's just, he just doesn't understand this history. He's jumbling names together. He's just totally misrepresenting this from top to bottom, all in some sort of diluted, weird effort to put himself in the middle of something that has nothing to do with him. Which is interesting because there is something that has to do with him. Why the fuck are you calling out StupidWh0reEnergy? What the fuck do you actually have to say about Evita, which so far is nothing? It's the classic, you need a designer to design the algorithm, which is just dumb and incorrect. And he just keeps avoiding me, but wanting to call me out. It's just sad.
Pennock and Lenski. So you have Bill Dembski, Robert Marks, and then later on, Winston Ewart, Eric Holloway. I was supposed to be in that lab, or at least I was invited. And there were others affiliated with the lab, like George Montañez, who went on to Carnegie Mellon, and Jorge Fernandez. So there was a group there. Peripherally, there's Michael Behe, who was not an official member of the lab, but he had some important things to say. Very important in his book, Darwin Default. So just kind of imagine that lab. On the other side, there's Adami, Ofria, Lenski, and Pennock. And guess who is Jay Bundy's advisor? It was Pennock, Robert Pennock. Oh. There's also a little backstory of Pennock. One of my professors was...
Rich Lenski is my graduate advisor. Rob Pennock is my teaching mentor. It's just a voluntary relationship of him helping me. We teach a class together. Just doesn't understand anything.
Richard Dawkins' drinking pal at Oxford. And then I saw that professor's name in Pennock's book on intelligent design. And was like, oh. Anyway, so that's the drama. So our group was very critical. One of their missions was to deconstruct the Evita project, to also criticize Lenski. And so this has been a 15-year conflict. Some of the stuff developed by the Evolution Informatics Lab, the mathematics are just horrendously just... I'm sorry, I got distracted. Sal, you featured my... Okay, so anyway, let me just try to finish my story. I lost my train of thought. So there's been a long history between Jay Bundy, his group, versus mine. It's basically Beatty. Two rival labs trying to...
Again, he loves Robert Beatty, but here's the thing. I don't give a fuck. Robert Beatty's a fucking stalker and a fuckface, and actually harassed me in real life. Take it for what you will. My issue is this fuckface Sal had the audacity to make a video calling Mike from Answers in Atheism, who he's also avoiding and hates because he's just called him out on his bullshit. He had the audacity to call Mike a psycho fucking stalker, had the audacity to imply that he's the reason Rebecca isn't, on YouTube anymore because he was trying to protect Rebecca from psycho stalkers like Mike, who y'all know is not that. And then he wants to just celebrate and pump pal around with his pal here, Robert Beatty, who actually literally harassed me in real life by contacting my colleagues, doxing my students. I could go on, but I'd rather not.
discredit each other. So that's kind of the heritage. And it just so happened, I don't know how, it was only through Robert Beatty, like this month, that he said, hey, do you know what this guy's saying about you? It's like, I don't even know who he is. And then I found out who he is. And I'm like, oh, well, that's neat. So basically, when he wanted to challenge me to debate, I actually didn't want to debate him. I mean, I think he needs to go to a psychiatric institution first. I'm sorry to be mean. I'm trying to be helpful here, Jay. I think you got some issues.
Don't worry
buddy.
about it.
I think you have some issues there. You're kind of creepy, guy. But I did want to have a chance to talk to PineCreek.
Says
I wanted to have someone that could fill me in on Evita, because I remember when I actually worked on the project briefly, I had independently worked on the Evita project without knowing before.
Pretty funny. I'm like the only person on both the Evita and Evita Ed projects, but it's just hilarious. PineCreek doesn't deal with creationists, so they're stuck with me, whether they realize it or not.
I went to Dr. Marks, and I put in something that got Evan Dorn, Adami's PhD student, to try to have a discussion with me, and I should have been really mean to him.
I should have been really mean
but
to his grad student.
Being the nice guy, it's like I'm not going to be any more confrontational than I need to be. I perceived he was just giving me BS so he could get through his PhD program. And Evan Dorn, I hope you appreciate the fact I didn't call you on it. I tried to make sure you got through your PhD program.
The South can't win a debate, but it's always graceful.
Because the stuff you're saying was utter BS.
Wow.
And there you go. I just wrote my dissertation on Evita, and PineCreek doesn't this debate with creationists. I guess you're stuck with me. Okay, Jay Bundy. This could be a deal with the devil here, because I'll tell you my, just for you. This is directed at you, Jay Bundy. There was an earlier version of Evita way back in 2004. Richard B. Hoppe was saying, Sal, you don't understand evolution. And I said, evolution goes the wrong way. He said, no, look, I got Evita working this. So I was talking about the experiment of Spiegelman's experiment. And I said, evolution goes the wrong way, because in Spiegelman's experiment, the quote unquote test genome was shrinking. Fitness was improving, but you went from, actually, just so I don't totally mess this up.
Oh my goodness, he's so dumb.
Spiegelman's monster. Spiegelman's monster. So so now I'm getting really nerdy, and I need to call my dear friend.
Oh my goodness.
Because he just called me. So Spiegelman's monster. I'm sorry to laugh. You just said, also, my bipolar is treated. I take meds every day, and I see my psych regularly. Thanks for your concern. I'm doing very well regard to my mental health. Okay, I'm sorry. I shouldn't. Okay, hey. All right. There's a saying by Seneca. There's no great genius without...
Sal, you missed my point. You're running out of fucking excuses, bro.
A touch of insanity. Okay, if you're in that category, I might let it slide. All right, just be a little careful with that, buddy.
No, thank you.
So let's get back to Spiegelman's monster and Evita. Spiegelman's monster is the name given to an RNA chain of only 218 nucleotides that is able to be reproduced by the RNA replication enzyme, RNA-dependent RNA polymerase, or also called RNA replicase. It's named after its creator, Saul Spiegelman, at the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, who first described it in 1965.
I don't know. I don't remember what this is. I just noticed today that he put this up on his fucking Evidence and Reasons Academy or whatever the fuck, and then had the audacity to like call out StupidWh0reEnergy, which I still don't understand what she has to do with this.
Spiegelman introduced RNA from a simple bacteriophage Q beta into a solution which contained Q beta's RNA replicase, some free nucleotides, and some salts. In this environment, the RNA started to be replicated.
We should get me and StupidWh0reEnergy versus Sal and fucking Cindy.
After a while, Spiegelman took some RNA and moved it to another tube with fresh solution. The process was repeated. Shorter RNA chains were able to be replicated faster, so the RNA became shorter and shorter as selection favored speed. After 74 generations, the original strand with 4,500 nucleotide bases ended up as a dwarf genome with only 2,800 bases. The short RNA sequence replicated very quickly in these unnatural circumstances.
All this is proof that evolution will naturally, quite reasonably, select for a more efficient replicator. And all that does is provide independent evidence of when that happened in a digital system. It's totally consistent with what you'd not only expect from evolutionary theory, but actually observed in a natural system. Again, Sal, you're stupid as shit. I mean, look, guys, I don't like Sal. We all know I don't like Sal. We all know picking on Sal's kind of easy for me because Sal's totally unqualified and has no idea what he's talking about. And we all know Sal deserves the ass whooping he has coming to him because he's actually an awful human being and he's really way out of his depth and he keeps calling out people who are way out of his league and he's just deserves it. There's no other way of putting it. He deserves to be treated like the piece of shit he is. But Sal, I'm trying to do you a favor. Let me just put it for you as simply as I can. You're not that smart. Plain and simple. I know that you're kind of light-skinned and maybe passing and you use big words and you went to school for a long time with some big fancy schools and you studied under some people that were very credentialed, but Sal, you're just not that smart. I'm not really that sorry, not sorry. Y'all know what it is.
All right. So I still remember this. This was 18 years ago, but it's crystallized into my mind. It's important to the later work I did with Dr. Sanford, and I hope to do with Dr. Marks, because just for the sake of full disclosure, Jay Bundy, I want to have communication with you because I want to destroy your work. That's why. Don't think that I'm doing this because I'm trying to be nice. So.
Well, you heard it, folks. I'm going to pop a couple of gummies. You heard what he said. You heard what he said. He said he wants to have confrontation with me so he can destroy my work. I welcome the fucking challenge, finally.
What happened with this? You had a genome of 4,500. Natural selection whittled it from 4,500 to 218. That's a factor of about, say, 20. And I said, Richard Hopp, Dr. Richard Hopp, big evolutionary proponent on the internet, evolution goes the wrong way. And he said, no, Sal, look at the video. And I laughed. I said, you're gonna use a computer simulation to try to refute an experimental result? I mean, I could make a video game that violates all the known laws of physics and it'll still at least computationally model this silly universe. We have video games like that. The fact that it does, the fact that the Avita model doesn't model what's happening in in experimental results is kind of disturbing. And so what did I do? There's an old version.
First off, that's not what happened, Sal. He said that what's going on in Evita confirmed what you saw in the biological system. And then you refused to accept that. So you laughed off this now independent result that really is consistent with evolutionary theory, irregardless of what system you look at it in. And then you probably did what a bunch of other jackasses did, is you went to a very specific simulation of something different to get a different result, to say something else, which is totally irrelevant, which is why the people you worked with got in trouble. Probably because what they did was not fucking up to the standard of ethical science. Which is why the LNCA lab and Evita are some of the most celebrated fucking experiments in the history of evolutionary biology. So it's so ridiculous that he comes at people who just, it's like we're the best at this, Sal, get over it. I'm sorry. Like, it's just, it's so ridiculous to challenge the LNCA. It's like, you're talking about one of the most well-cited, well-published experiments in history of science. So your beef is not with me or with LNCA or with PineCreek. It's with the entire field of evolutionary biology, dumb fuckface. I don't even know what fucking insult to call this moron. And then on top of that, coming out of Evita, when we've got all this fucking support from all of the institutes that are, you know, the National Center for Science Education, the NSF, you know, it's just like, bro, tell it to the National Science Foundation. Tell it to all of the legitimate societies that support us in our efforts as one of the pivotal softwares for evolution education. You're just fighting a losing battle to begin with.
An old version of Evita that's not there anymore.
I literally have an army of the entire field behind me, and Sal has his little crew of already debunked, literally shameful fucking apologists. This is pathetic. I literally kind of don't even want to waste my time with this fool anymore. I was interested because he called out StupidWh0reEnergy. I might survive 20 more minutes of this, but like, Sal is not even entertaining enough to be entertained whooping his ass. Like he's so awful that he's sucking my energy. I just want to hang out with the gang and do fun stuff.
I took it there, and they had this, and I, you know, Pop said, okay, you need to study this.
I just want my one-on-one confrontation with Sal so I can actually beat him down and move on with this. Like, come on, Sal, I got bigger and better things to do with my life.
I'm not going to talk to you. You need to learn. Just really condescending. And Dr. Hobbs.
I don't know, Scott, dude, I don't know what he's talking about, bro. Scott, I don't know what he's talking about, Scott. Sal, Scott, it's so low level, Sal, right? It's so low level. Like, I mean, on one level, you feel bad. This is why he can't have his interaction with PineCreek and LNCA and those people. They just would never give him the time of day. The only reason I do it is because I'm a YouTube counter-apologist, and the fact that people like this are relied on by Christians to bolster their faith, and their faith relies on these, totally demonstrably false scientific demonstrations. It just makes it relevant to what I do as a counter-apologist and what I do as an evolutionary educator and somebody who does evolution education and outreach. But strictly from a scientific perspective, Sal is actually fucking pathetic, yo. Like, literally pathetic. Like, if it wasn't for the fact that he has a platform and he brings upon so much vitriol by being such a shitty person, I would feel bad for him because he's that stupid. I mean, even my promos, to take my promos and play stupid like you can't recognize the difference between a performance and a performer. It's just, oh my goodness, it's just weird. Like, he's a weird, creepy little man.
They're in hell now. He just, I mean, he tries to be cordial and, you know, he tried to be very civil to me, but every now and then he just said stuff that's condescending. It's like, sir, you're burning in hell now. I don't, you know, sorry, sir. But you're condescending and you're wrong. You've been disproven by LNCA's own experiments in 2017 at the long-term evolution experiment stuff. Numerous observations have falsified it, and then
none of this is true.
Levita was wrong.
This is just,
But
this is, again, like, it's kind of frustrating that you can't find better opponents for me. Like, it's kind of disappointing that we can't find people who can defend their faith without resorting to shit that is just demonstrably true. And only people who don't know or don't have the skill, time, or resources to look into this shit would even bother believing. This is just, yes, guys, you know Richard LNCA, the dude who's published like fucking hundreds of papers or whatever the fuck, who's fucking mentored like a fucking generation of the fucking top experimental evolutionary biologists, who's considered for all intents and purposes literally the fucking patriarch of modern experimental evolution, the person who's considered literally the most celebrated scientist in his field. Yeah, he's a failure. Yeah. Turns out he gets all those accolades. He's published all those papers. He's won all those awards. He keeps winning awards because he sucks. Yeah. It turns out he's just trash, y'all. And this is what I'm saying, y'all. Like, I don't have to sit here and be like, oh, no, guys, what he's saying is so not true. Just look up Rich LNCA. You know, like, Sal, you make my life easy. I could just look up Rich LNCA, y'all. And people are going to look up Rich LNCA and they'll be like, yeah, sounds like one of the most accomplished scientists in the history of biology. So if you're going to tell me without literally even having credentials in this field, without having published anything in this field, without being able to point to anything other than debunked creatards in this field, like, you've got nothing. You've got nothing. And I'm bored. I want a challenge, and Sal is not a challenge. The only thing that sucks, the only reason Sal gets my attention is because I genuinely hate him. I genuinely, personally don't like him. It's kind of like a lot of people, I think, feel about Hovind and a lot of these other characters in the apologetics world that I don't pay attention to because I just don't give a shit about. They personally just find the person despicable or whatever, and so they personally have taken an interest in this person because they literally fucking hate them. And that's, like, I'm guilty of hate watching Sal or whatever the fuck it is, but, like, I'm kind of that way. Like, there's a side of me that really enjoys, I used to tell people, I used to like to break glass. There's a part of me that finds it therapeutic to have a healthy source of an outlet for my anger. And that's Sal. He's somebody that don't mind paying attention to from time to time, because as part of growing and becoming a better me and maturing in my life and career, I'm just honest. I like to have a fucking punching dummy to beat up on that I know I can beat up on as hard as I want, and they can't fight back because they're pathetic and sad. And they're totally, like I said, a punching dummy. They're without weapons. They're without tools. They're just harmless. They're of no threat to me, but every once in a while I just want to fucking kick something as hard as I can. And Sal's that thing that I can just kick as hard as I can in the face, stomp on, beat up, smash, throw through a flaming table, throw off the top of a cell, just to entertain myself and others. and not feel bad. You know, Sal just literally helps me deliver on the heelness that I want to deliver on. Every once in a while, I want to promote a Hell in a Cell match, and you know, just prove my genuine villainness, my genuine bad guyness, by just pulling Sal up to the top of the cell and tossing him off. Not onto a crash pad, not onto a table, but just dropping him like in the middle of the crowd or something. And people being like, holy shit, I think he just tried to kill him for fun. I'm like, yeah, I did. Holy shit, that was unbelievable. I've never seen something so ruthless and violent. Like, no, I just did it for funsies. I swear, I promise you, I just did it for fun. And then I just do it again. I just drag his limp ass back up to the top of the cage and just toss him off again. Holy shit, dude, like, dude, you're gonna get in trouble because it's not safe. You didn't throw him onto the padded part of the, you just tossed him onto the concrete. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Can I do it again? Let's just do it again. Let's just drag his ass up, 20-foot high cell, just toss him off again. Oh, cool. All right, now the ambulance comes and all the people from the back and the fucking paramedics with the stretcher and shit. And then I just throw a fucking tantrum. I'm bored. I'm tired of not having anybody to snap at. So I throw a tantrum. I start super kicking all the fucking staff and the personnel. I fucking toss the fucking stretcher. And then maybe I just start whooping his ass with the stretcher. And I just don't let him get any help. You know? Maybe like that. And I just stomp on him for a little while. That's what Sal is to me. He's literally like, me and my therapist have decided every once in a while you got to just hurt something, you know, hurt people, hurt things. You just got to hurt somebody that you don't feel bad about hurting, and that's Sal. Okay?
Didn't stop Richard Hopp in 2004 from saying, you need to learn this. So I humored him, and I learned how to run a Vita, a version that doesn't last anymore. You won't find it anywhere, in fact, I think in the archives. And I played a little trick on him. I said, you know, they had this radiation parameter where you can model the mutation rate. You can affect the mutation rate by exposing the little digital creature, you know, make-believe creature. It's not a real physical biological organism. It's some concoction of man. This basic.
Wait, Sal, did you just tell the audience? Did you just expose our work, Sal? Sal, how can we ever recover from this, Sal? Sal, I can't believe you exposed the Vita like this. Did you just fucking tell people? Holy shit, guys. I don't know. Guys, I might quit my job this week. Sal just told people that our digital evolution experiments that we do with computer programs, guys, he just revealed to the world for the first time, y'all. I don't even know how we can go on after this. That the digital programs that we use inside of a computer, y'all, are not actually organisms. They're not actually living biological creatures with cells and shit like that. I don't know how we ever gonna do that. What are we gonna do? We're fucked. I don't know how we're going to recover. Guys, our computer programs aren't fucking real. Sam, did you know Cliff and I can't evolve real cats and dogs in our computer? We're fucked.
Basically, short machine
We've been
code.
Exposed.
And you know, Ben Rex would probably understand this. So would Schnoil, who understand computer architecture.
StupidWh0reEnergy, if you get fired, you can move in with me. You know what I'm saying?
This is at the machine.
We got to stick together in this community.
And they're trying to evolve something.
Guys, stop being perverts. Stop being perverts. It's not a sex thing. It's not a sex thing. It's just if she gets fired for watching my stream as the Most High Apostle, I feel obligated to take her in to make sure her and her family don't end up on the streets. Come on, guys. Why would I wouldn't do a sex. Come on now. You know me better than that.
Something like an XNOR or X. One of these slightly more than trivial logic gates. And I cranked up this radiation parameter. It simulates just terrible mutation. I cranked it up all to 50. I just some absurd number. I said, this is like taking like your cat and putting it in a microwave, cranking it up all the way to high, running the microwave oven for 3 days, and then telling the cat afterward to reproduce. And all these digital organisms kept reproducing. I said, something's wrong here. I said, Evan Dorn, don't you see? This is a laughable simulation that you could do this, and the creature doesn't die. I could probably put that parameter up to infinity.
First off, y'all, he's kind of full of shit, and I'm going to show you why he's full of shit, okay? I'm going to show you why he's full of shit. He's so dumb. Like, guys, I'm so serious when I say this. I know you guys think I'm just trying to shit on Sal, and I am, because I fucking hate Sal. But the truth is, when I tell you my undergrads can fucking debunk Sal, I mean that. I genuinely mean you don't need a PhD, you don't need a master's, you don't need anything. It's so easy to debunk Sal because he's just full of shit. So look, there's a 30 by 30. This isn't even the research version of Evita. This is Evita Ed. This is the play kitty version of Evita that you use to teach. So look, these Avidians, they have 50 instructions in their genome. This is their copy loop. They use this series of instructions to make copies of this themselves. The rest is filled with blank instructions. Let's just run one real quick. Boom. You see they're going through all these instructions. They don't do anything, don't do anything. Okay, now they get into the copy loop. They're copying. There's a 2% mutation rate, so there's a 1 out of 50 chance that this organism will have a mutation. It doesn't. I could have cranked it up. But let's see what happens, y'all. If we go, we take that one, boom, we keep the mutation rate at 2%, we turn on all these resources, let that bitch run, let's see what happens. Now, you'll notice everything looks cool, everybody's chilling, everything's fine and dandy. All right, so cool, they're all increasing in fitness, they're having their little thing. We could come over here to the stats and we could see their population statistics. It's like me and Cliff were doing with Mabe the other day or whatever. All right, now let's test what Sal's talking about, because he's he's just dumb as fuck. All right, so let's pause this. Let's start a new one. Discard. I don't give a shit. All right, now let's crank this mutation rate right on up to 8% and see what happens. Matter of fact, let's keep the math simple. Let's take it up to 10%. Right. Now remember, we have 50 instructions in our genome, so now we're taking it up to 10%. So now we'd expect there to be about 5 mutations per organism. Let's run this. Oh, I didn't put an organism in. Whoops. All right, let's start with the ancestor. Boom, run. Now notice something. It's struggling. It's taking a little bit longer to grow. Why is that? Because a lot of them have fateful mutations. When you have 5 mutations per organism, it gets pretty hard to not hit the copy loop. So as you can see, they don't fill up the petri dish. It's taking a lot longer for this population to spread out. Their fitness is increasing slower. Why? Because there's the fucking mutation rate's high as shit. Now let's pause this. Let's crank it up even more, because Sal said it just keeps running no matter how high you make it. So let's just go ahead and crank it on up to 20% and see what happens. Right? So now we'd expect 10 mutations per one. All right, let's see what happens there. You guys notice anything? Yeah, this population is struggling like a motherfucker. Doesn't take a PhD to figure this out. Our students can look at this. How do I know this? What did Cliff say the last time me and Cliff met on Wednesday? A lot of y'all heard it. He said, I get so sick of doing what? He said, I get so sick of going through Evita Ed group projects when we teach these classes and everybody's done what? resources and mutation rate and population size and dish size. They all do the same things over and over and over again. So all of our students figure this out quickly because in the Vita Ed, there's only so many parameters they can experiment with. So many of them do things where they crank up the mutation rate and they actually learn that it really does fucking make evolution hard eventually because you just get to a point where it's really hard. If you crank the mutation rate up to fucking half to where you're going to get, 20 mutations per replication. I don't know what the fuck Sal is talking about. You can crank it up to infinity, but this shit's just going to fucking die. Like, you got one cell there, cool. And as you can see, it really can't successfully copy into another cell because it almost certainly always just the copy loop just gets hit. This motherfucker can't copy itself. It just can't. It keeps trying. Made a copy, boop, but it died because it couldn't copy. So yeah, we can sit here and let it run. But all we're watching is the ancestor unsuccessfully reproduce over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And you don't even have to, you can look at it, literally, you could look at it under the hood. So you don't even need the research version. You don't even need the big boy version of Evita. This is what I mean when I said I'm not playing with y'all. My fucking students can debunk Sal. They know, Sal, what are you talking about? You can crank it up to infinity. You can't even crank it up to half. You can't even crank it up to 50%, Sal. What are you talking about? Run. Let's watch. Now you're watching one try to do it under hood. You're watching a single Avidian try to reproduce. Oh, it didn't actually set my reset. It didn't set my mutation rate. Boom. Where are we going? Yep, now you see all the mutations happening. All through the fucking genome. All through the fucking genome. So literally we forced it to. This is why they can't reproduce, y'all. This is an example where we actually force it to produce another genome. And look at this. Look at the copy loop. V, F, C, A, X, G, A, B, W, Z, C, A, G. Take the same locations here. What do we have? Q, V, F, C, A, O, D, K, B, S, Z, S, A, J. Literally, we have fucking almost half the goddamn, like you'd expect, about half the goddamn copy loop has mutated. That's why this doesn't work. This fucking breaks. Too many mutations in the reproductive area. Sal doesn't know what he's talking about, and we do exercises with fucking 10th graders that demonstrate this shit.
Don't you see that it's not Royal Truman, who's a great chemist at
this person's an idiot, y'all.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Anyway, hopefully he's retired now. And he's also a computational scientist. He rightly pointed out
mutation overload.
The way Evita replicates
every
its
single
genome,
time.
The replication system, the major parts of it are not subject to all the mutation. Only that little segmented part, and that's what I proved. And I told Evan Dorn, I said, this is just kind of, I didn't want to tell him, in harsh words, but technically it's just a farce, guys, that I could do this. Later versions probably don't have that same problem, but I'm like, and I had that result. And then because I had mentioned it in passing in various forums that Bill Dembski watched, he referred me 3 years later to be a student to become a student of Robert Marx, to work on the Evita project, to deconstruct it. And so that was my work. I handed that off to him, and I still have the old emails, and we're just kind of, there's Dr. Marx, me, Bill Dembski, some others, including a physicist. And we were all just kind of laughing at this, and we're saying, well, how do we deconstruct this? They're not going to be very eager to explain how this system works. They can give us the code, but we really need to explain what they're trying to do. They had all this impenetrable language in their
impenetrable language. Oh,
Nature
my goodness.
publication.
Y'all, this is really, really funny. Just look up Avita. Avita, the first thing that pops up, Avita, a software platform for research in computational evolutionary biology. What? Artificial Life 2004, PDF available to everybody. What? It's 30 pages. It explains everything. It explains the history, the software. It explains the whole register setup, how everything works, the language, what the codes do. It's the same shit that's in the Avita ad. I literally assign this to my students every time. We assign it to them all the time. Just read it. It's so easy to read. What is he talking about, bro? And again, you don't have to be a programmer, have a background in biology, computer science, none of that. None of that. Literally, he is the type of motherfucker who buries his shit in complicated language. We do not. Even this little snippet of code, literally, it explains every single line of it here, what it does. Bro, our whole business is about being transparent. This guy is just, oh my Lord. Oh my goodness. Sal, he forgets that people do this for a living. That there's people like me who this is so easy for us. It pains me. We talked about this in Gather last night. We talked about how sometimes when I really try to shut an apologist down, the empathy in me is literally trying to stop the person. As much as I don't like them, as much as I'm here to expose them, I'm trying to stop the person from embarrassing themselves. This is a person who you see the train coming towards them and you're just going, get off the tracks, get off the tracks, get off the tracks, get off the tracks. And it's just splat everywhere. And you're just like, I fucking tried to tell him. But you hate it. I did hate him, but I was seriously trying to tell him. I was trying to warn him just because I didn't, I didn't want, whatever.
And Winston Ewer tried to work on it. He
I'm glad you actually read that. Yeah, it's a great read.
And also like Tierra and all these others. And I felt that they tried to attack it with pure mathematics. And I had objected to that. I said, there's a little easier thing. The computer scientists for the computer science work, maybe we could make stuff about information theory and what sort of things you can construct, in terms of evolutionary algorithms, the limits of the solutions you can find, et cetera, et cetera. So from a pure computer science problem-solving perspective, the question of Avita, Tierra, et cetera, has academic interest. And a lot of these academic interests, you think, does it have any practical application? We find that many times some of the stuff we explore is not immediately practical, but then we find out it's not immediately practical, but then sometimes someone finds something.
Guys, just for those of you that are keeping score at home, I want to, break down what Sal is explaining to you here. And I don't mean this to insult anybody, but this is literally called basic science. Yeah, when we want to explain science to children, we explain that science projects are generally broken down into two categories. One is called basic research. The other is called applied research. When you do applied research, you are doing research to solve problems of what you might call an immediate need and a everyday application for some business or industry. The other stuff is called basic research. It's what you do when you just need to understand the processes and mechanisms underlying various scientific theories. So what Sal is basically saying is these people who do basic research, well, I'm not really sure how much immediate application there is to this basic research, which is not conducted to have immediate practical application. Like, you are just fucking stupid as shit, Sal. And on top of that, most of us do consider our work basic research, but it has practical applications, and those applications are actually immediately obvious. And even in our basic research, we often speak to the practical applications. Nevertheless, there are tons of practical applications for our research, and often the motivation of why we do the research is to use the basic research to inform a practical application, you stupid fuck. Like, literally, even Cliff's work, like, it's all about why you have used different type of brains with different type of problems, because different type of brains are better at solving different type of problems. So yes, we throw unrealistic situations at them that represent different types of problems so we can understand this. That way, when someone goes to apply it, they can use that basic research. And he is just fundamentally misrepresenting the basics to such an egregious level that it's actually kind of infuriating, because, to be honest with you, a lot of his listeners don't deserve to be this led astray. Like, I do fucking hate Sal, but a lot of the people in his audience are, for lack of better, they're just kind of misguided Christians who are hooked on the Sals of the world to make them feel, bolstered in their Christianity. Because let's face it, like, we all need that sort of intellectual reassurance to, like, not feel stupid as fuck in our most important beliefs. And I do get that Christians seek that out. And believe it or not, I don't really demonize them for doing that. I think because I understand and I did that, and I think we all know what that's like to just be sure of something, and so you're looking for assurance and you don't really recognize what's going on there. Whatever you want to call it, right? But it's really unfortunate that just listening to someone like this and buying in and trusting what they're saying, and maybe even having the misfortune of really absorbing it and repeating it yourself as though it were your own understanding, really fucking dangerous.
Something of use for it. There's some theorems in mathematics. It's just like, I was actually surprised, like Russell's, the Russell paradox has something to do important in understanding computer security, etc. So these kind of strange questions, it's like, okay, Winston, Bill Dembski, and Robert Marks, you want to write papers on this, that's fine.
Again, all trash.
What I was interested in is showing that it's irrelevant and misleading.
Names credible people would never mention.
To argue biological evolution proceeds by Darwinian mechanisms. And in one of the papers I published through the Blythe Institute, I specifically cited Lenski using Evita to teach how evolution works. I don't know how long ago that was, but he better stop doing that, because that's misleading. His own experiments do not show that that's how natural selection works. And so I wanted to learn a little bit more about Evita so I could start to incorporate it and modify it to parallel Lenski's experiments.
Dog, I will go through my entire fucking Evita Ed curriculum with Sal, bust his ass into some original research of his own using Evita, and I will fucking video that shit, because Sal will reveal to the world either he will have to change his fucking tune or he's dense as fucking shit. But see, the truth is, I already know what happens. I'm so good at this, y'all. I put niggas in a vice grip. You go through our Evita Ed curriculum, especially if you do it on camera, where you have to be held accountable for what the fuck you read and see, your ass is grass. So he won't do it.
And so this is going to be really embarrassing for Lenski.
Sorry, Sal. I hate to break it to you, buddy, but the one thing I do better than you lie to people is teach ignorant motherfuckers like you. Yeah, break it down real simple. I'm better at teaching than you are at lying. It's just that simple. And if you have any enough game to recognize game, don't come anywhere near me on this education shit, Sal, because let me remind you, I'm better at teaching than you are at lying. Try me.
That he wrote this Evita, advertised it, and that the way it works is not reflected even in his own physical experiments, citing this paper here. And I'll see it. I'll show it to you. This is the paper in question. Proceedings, National Academy of Science. Maybe one of the better papers, better titled papers here. Mutator genomes decay despite sustained fitness gains. This is the golden phrase right there. This is like Spiegelman's monster. This is the problem. As Darwinian fitness improves, the genomes go downhill. And last night I was pointing out, I said, look, I showed a paper that said mutation and selection are responsible for the decrease in intelligence in the human population over time.
And see, that's why he's such a fuckface. Because he just wants to go to something that has nothing to do with anything. First off, the hypermutators don't prove anything to support Sal. They're consistent with evolutionary theory. There were short-term gains by evolving an elevated mutation rate. First off, you got to remember all these populations are evolving independently. So it's not like, oh, they fucking evolved hypermutation rate and then they shit all over the other guys. It's just like, they did that in those populations, some of them more elevated than others, and yes, it did allow them to like get certain adaptations sooner and earlier, but then it also caused problems once that elevated mutation rate became not advantageous. And so it's just, but then some of them have had, again, counter adaptations for that. So again, there's no such thing as a fucking part of the LNCA long-term experiment that disproves natural selection. That's just not how any of this works. Again, you don't get the Friend of Darwin award because your experiment undermines Darwinian evolution. Sal just thinks he is going to slip into this language where he is able to put himself over the entire field of biology as a non-biologist and get away with it. Sal, bring that bullshit to a motherfucking evolutionary biologist. William Dembski, Michael Behe, Robert whoever the fuck you're talking, bro, none of them niggas gonna help you if you go one-on-one with the J1. I'ma fuck your shit up, bro, because you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. At all. At all. It's not how any of this shit works. And then on top of that, the motherfucker's like, oh yeah, so we observed some hypermutational effect in some E. coli in a fucking flask in Michigan State, and that's an example of why humans have fallen off because of mutations, and so human intelligence has declined. Wait, y'all, but ... that's somehow evidence of what? Your perfect God and us being created in his perfect image? Sal, even if you were right, you'd be wrong.
Evolutionists have been saying mutation and selection build up complexity. At least as far as human intelligence, that's not true.
Yeah, the paper itself says whether selection can prevent this decay is unclear. Like, he's just retarded. Just lies.
Lenski's experiment on bacteria, that's not true.
Just lies.
I could show you pangenomic profiles of E. coli and other bacterial species. That's not true.
And again, I hope this isn't actually directed at StupidWh0reEnergy. I was really hoping StupidWh0reEnergy said something that this nigga was going to address, because if this is actually like a letter to StupidWh0reEnergy, like a correction to her, dude, you just keep making our cult look stronger, because it's like, I told you, my students can cut you. Now you're making videos about our fans, and our fans can cut you. StupidWh0reEnergy retired from YouTube, and she's roasting you from the comment section. Like, people don't even have to have a channel to fuck your shit up, Sal. Like, Sal, you're not good at this. You're not, these are literally like people who just think science is cool and fuck your shit up. Like, they're not even that into it. They're busy. They got lives of their own. But they just be like, oh, I'm going to just casually look up Sal's bullshit. Oh, here, look, Sal's sitting on some bullshit.
One is going to be very hard-pressed to see that mutation selection actually work in the construction of anything but trivial changes. Anything require multiple simultaneous changes.
Guys, it's called mutation selection balance. It's really basic biology.
Interacting partners, forget it. And it's false advertising.
Guys, if you get more mutations, things change quicker, you get faster adaptations, you can get short-term gains, but then over the long term, you get into mutational meltdown. So it puts a limit both on how high of a mutation rate you get before things become not advantageous, and also how long an elevated mutation rate might be advantageous. Again, all of this incredibly dependent on the environment, the species, the circumstance, the generation time, the genetic mechanism, like is it asexual versus sexual? So again, what applies to E. coli does not apply to elephants in this case.
To say that this can happen in gradual incremental steps, because yes, it can if you have selection pressure to do it, but where would the selection, why should we expect it there? No one has actually calculated the probability that such selection pressures will exist out in the wild. Winston Ewart, Robert Marks, and Bill Dembski tried to formulate some mathematical things saying, depending on these conditions, that, we don't expect this to hold. I don't think we need quite the 180 pages to prove that. I think there's a shorter route, and I had a conversation with Robert Marks about that. If we go just with the geometric arguments that I wish I had time to discuss yesterday, I could easily show that the likelihood of the selection pressure existing is probably worse than just random mutation. Maybe that's the way I would go. It basically would be a simpler statement of Dembski's displacement theorem. So there you go, Pocket Locker. And Pocket Locker, how can I get a hold of you, Pocket Locker? Maybe we can have an academic discussion. I don't want to debate, sir. I feel I owe it to you in full disclosure what's at stake in it for me.
I mean, my heart's beating, my hands are shaking,
If you want that, I feel I owe it to you to be full disclosure that I have no friendly intention about this. This is for all the beans, for all the marbles on this debate.
I hear a lot of talking. I didn't see anything in my email. I told him Pocket Locker 86
you
at
think
Gmail.
You're going to win this.
Pocket Locker 86 everywhere.
I hope I can trust you. That when I ask you questions about Evita, it's going to be represented correctly. I intend to work with people to write papers that will be very critical of Lenski's work, very critical of the Evita project as far as biology.
I don't know, Sal. I heard you and Robert Beatty talking about how much they lowered the standards of PhD just to get me through graduation. So I don't know. Maybe you better get one of them real serious PhDs to debate you, not one of them low standard ones, because I might fuck up. I got out on the easy track. Yeah, he backed out, man. But I don't know what he gonna do, man. I think maybe if I get through to James, maybe James will lean on him or something, because he called me out on James's channel. So I think. We gotta figure out a way to get him to agree to something. I'm hoping he'll agree to just do the damn, the Survivor Series thing we want to do. We want to do our own pay-per-view, fuck modern day debates. So we're gonna have our own pay-per-view event, our own big card. We're gonna set up 4 or 5 debates, and we just put me and Sal on the card. Shit. Like I said, we're going to try to get Uncle Bobby versus Otangelo. I would love to get James versus Rebecca. We got to get somebody for Wayne. And, yeah.
Not as far as its relevance to anything specifically in computer science that does, the improvement of writing algorithms and all. That's not my domain. It is the relevancy of Vita being applied to biological evolution. So if you can, oh my! All right, Pocket Locker.
Don't throw your pearls to a pig.
There might be a way you could post in the comment section what your email is. If you have a curriculum vitae with your publications, I'm willing to read it. And I'm really sorry to say this, but I don't think your team, the LTE Evita project, is. I think they have. I think they're either self-delusional or they're hiding important data points because their project is not right. Linsky's own experiments showed that it is a bad model for how evolution actually works.
Oh my
goodness. And it's, is this about trying to maintain grants, trying to maintain reputations and keep paying your mortgage? I'm sorry to have to put it in those terms. When you have those pressures, you tend to rationalize, even if you're not willfully lying. There's a lot of pressure to, let's say, not be, to maybe give the benefit of the doubt to a bad argument, shall we say?
Yes, you're right, Sal. Guys, you know that Darwinian evolution, like I said, the most supported well-evidenced theory in the history of science. It's a real gamble. It's a real gamble if you've got your life staked on this thing that's got more evidence for it than anything ever. I mean, I get that. That's a real tough thing. It's a real tough thing. At that point, you're all in though. You've already put both feet into the deep end, so to speak.
I'd like to know a little bit more about that Evita project. I have some questions about even Adami's original work, because we are reading through that paper the first time. It's like, what are you guys talking about?
Well, reading a Chris Adami paper.
You're using just all these kind of idiosyncratic, these specialized terms that almost seem made up on the fly.
It's because Chris Adami's a physicist.
No one in the industry seemed to use it at the time, and if it's and if it happened to be just that it's obscure, they should have had the courtesy to try to explain it. Because certainly we had computer science.
Guys, Chris Adami is a physicist who does work on Evita stuff, mostly from an information theoretical perspective. So he's picking an obscure Evita researcher it's just a weird way to go about this. Real creepy, but we can handle this. No, like I said, I used to teach for Chris Adami, so know him very well.
Science guys working on this, looking at it and kind of just rolling their eyes like I was, like, what the heck are you talking about?
Chris does give people that effect.
And so it's like, is this deliberate obfuscation?
He does that every day.
The paper gets a free pass in the journal Nature because it's pro-evolution, not because of its merits. not because of its scientific merits.
No, because it was reviewed by people who can actually understand it, Sal.
So, I may call up my friend Eric Holloway, who worked at the Evolution Informatics Lab. He and I are affiliated with the Blythe Institute. I published at the Blythe Institute. We might write an anti-weasel or anti-Avita program. So, Jay, thank you for showing up. If you want to post in the comments section for your contact information, I would be interested. I hope. Thank you for being open about your. Thank you for being open about your mental health issues, and that you're taking your meds and you're seeing a psychiatrist. I feel a little happier to hear about that, because a mind is a terrible thing to waste, and I'm sorry to just laugh. I'm dealing with a psycho. Oh my goodness. But I want to deconstruct Avita, so that's the basis. I don't think a debate would be.
Wait, Isn't there a better way to get? He says, "Oh, here it goes." He says, since StupidWh0reEnergy has been a frequent financial contributor to channels that host creation, evolution, controversy, and has give exceptionally good criticism to Sal's idea, Sal promised Miss Energy to comment on Avita. This is This is a clip from an earlier and longer video here. Wow.
Okay, thank you, Robert. I started to laugh, Jay. I'm dealing with a psycho. But just to explain the dynamics of last night when I was referring to Jay Bundy, it's like, come on. I wanted to explain what's going on. Trying to refute evolution at the academic level is a lot tougher than what you see in debates. This is a 15-year battle between two rival labs over supremacy of who's right. And you got some very fine minds.
Why don't I not spell this right?
Especially Robert Marx. And then peripherally, there's Michael Behe, who wrote Darwin Devolves. On the side, very much farther out on the side, is the genetic entropy crowd, which I'm associated with, John Sanford, Ola Hofstra, Bill Basner, myself. And then somewhere in between's Michael Behe, and then the informatics lab. There was a publication, and you'll see all the big names here. BINP. This is kind of in intelligent design circles. This is a famous publication. And you'll see all the affiliated names. And out of this grew a lot of new researchers whose names that it's better you don't know who they are. They are secular researchers. We're moving up the ladder, and they're ID proponents, but we're trying to keep their identities private. So you can see the name here, Robert Marx, and then I worked for John Sanford. I almost worked for William Dembski and Robert Marx at the EIL, and I worked for John Sanford. I would like to continue. I'd like to reestablish a relationship with Robert Marx and William Dembski on a working level, because some of my more recent peer-reviewed papers, academic secular, touch on the work that they had been doing. And going back to this list of people, we have also, I don't really know, Bruce Gordon was at the Discovery Institute. I really don't know him personally. Michael Behe and I have met. He knows, I'm acquainted with him. He knows who I am. So that was a pretty, I didn't expect to go for an hour and 45 minutes. Robert, God bless you, sir. Cease and desist. alphadynamics21@gmail.com.
Yeah,
thank you very much, Robert.
Robert.
God bless you all.
Robert Beatty. See, what was I gonna do? What was I gonna do? I mean, come on.
in the side chat. I know this is just boring academics.
Plus, I already know Robert Beatty won't do anything. I've already asked Robert Beatty a million times, just call me Robert Beatty. The link is pinned. The link is pinned every single stream. It's always in the description. He runs around saying I'm scared of him when there's a link in the description every single stream. He watches retyping everything I say, but he never retypes the part about when I say, Robert Beatty, just call me and we could settle this.
Stuff, that's who I am.
But I guess he scared me off.
I don't necessarily enjoy the academics myself, but I need to do it to.
He scared me off.
With professionally.
I mean, my heart's beating.
But this is done for the glory and honor of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Academics are boring, but it is a cross for us to bear. We try to be all things to all men, so that some may be saved. And our cross to bear is to be an academic and suffer with the rest of the people there. It gives us an opportunity to reach out. That's the mission field that I feel.
And I ain't gonna lie to you, y'all. This is some of the shit that inflames me the most. Of all the shit that I've heard out of Sal's mouth, this to me is, believe it or not, again, just way too far. Sal Cardova's a liar. And Christianity isn't true. So to have the audacity to come at me, a former Christian, who's a scientist, again, folks, I like to overhype it. I like the fact that we have fans. I like to make science seem cool. But here's the truth. We do experiments and teach people's children for a living. And for these fuckfaces to attack our work and then claim to do it in the name of the religion that we worked so hard to leave because it was a source of abuse and oppression. I'm a victim of Christianity and its delusions. And for these deluded fuckers to harass me and attack my work and then have the fucking audacity to claim they do it in some sick, twisted effort to fight for a religion that I had to escape. And then you bring this shit to me after I escaped your fucktard religion. You have the nerve to attack my work and harass my fucking friends because you can't handle the fact that you're wrong. So instead of being man enough to fucking face the truth of your own retarded ass fucking religion, you literally go after the people who were courageous enough to fucking escape it. And for that, you can go fuck yourself, Sal. No, seriously. That is some shit, Sal, that you and I will have a serious face-to-face, in-person conversation about one day, Sal. Sal, don't get it fucking twisted, bruh. I'm gonna fuck your shit up online all day, every day, all over the fucking internet. But I know you like to bullshit about your serious fucking harm and your threats and all this shit. Sal, let's be honest. You are not worth threatening because you are a fucking piece of shit. But let this COVID shit subside, Sal. I will fucking find you at a fucking theatard religious conference, an IDC powwow, a fucking creationist conference, a motherfucking, I don't give a fuck where, Sal. You and me will not be done till you and I have a face-to-face conversation, Sal. A man-to-man, look me in the fucking eyes while I look you in the fucking eyes and you tell me this is about the truth of your fucking Jesus. You're gonna have to tell me that shit to my fucking face and fucking person, Sal, before we put this one to bed, baby.
God has appointed me to.
God has appointed you to? Cool. You're going to need his help.
Witness to them and also encourage them.
I hope your Savior decides to show up that day. Because you're going to need his ass.
And there's other academics that watch this channel, and I'm grateful for them. 6exotrig is another one. So let me now close the stream with this. Take care and God bless you.
Can't believe this fuckface, y'all. All right, look. Let me pull up something real quick. What's up, Carrie-Ann?
What did I miss?
Fucking Sal made a video for StupidWh0reEnergy where he was talking shit about Evita and me and all types of shit. He's just fucking and powwowing with Robert Beatty. It's just fucking irritates me how he's gonna sit there and say he had to protect fucking Rebecca from psychotic stalkers like Mike from Answers in Atheism, and then he's fucking palling around with the actual stalker fuckface.
Weasel fish face fucker.
Yeah, he's a pain in my ass.
Did you see the flatfish flounder? That's all I see when I look at him.
The flatfish flounder?
He looks like a
that are looking up from the bottom?
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny.
There is a nice picture of one. It's in the chat somewhere.
Oh, nice. I need to look at the picture. All right, hang on a sec. StupidWh0reEnergy sent me a video.
Ooh, cool.
But also,
is it appropriate?
Yeah, I should pull it up first.
Yeah. That's why I wanted to mention that. Just in case, you know.
Oh yeah, that's we're gonna play that in Gather. That's a good song. Probably get us demonetized though. All right. So here we go. I'm gonna read this. StupidWh0reEnergy sent this over to me. I pulled it into a document so I didn't have to show the Discord. All right. I found where someone from the Adami group responded to Sal's Evita runs. Experimental result number 1, with the point mutation rate of 0.5. We were given a copy of Mr. Cardova's actual experimental results for examination. In this run, he set the point mutation rate to a probability of 0.5 of random mutations per genome site per update and turned off all other sources of mutation. Examining his output, Item 1, the directory gene bank contains only one new file named, I know what that is, 20.allas. That's just a genome identifier. It contains a copy of the ancestral genotype. Yep, there you go. New genotypes are saved in this directory as soon as 3 copies appear in the population. Since none were saved, it implies that no new self-replicating genotypes arose during the experiment. In a normal run, this directory will fill with hundreds or thousands of files. Item 2, the last line of the output file, totals.dat, contains these values, 50,000, update, total number of, the total number of instructions executed, the total number of creatures, total number of genotypes, total number of threshold and genotypes and species. The number of instructions is negative because the number grew so large. Oh, right. It's in a loop. It's stuck in a loop and it can't reproduce, right? Number grew so large that the long integer which stores that number rolled over. Wow. See experimental result number 2 for an explanation of binary integer rollover. Basically, y'all, it got in a loop, right? It had so many mutations, it can't execute its copy loop, so it keeps updating, and it doesn't copy. So the number of executed instructions goes through the roof. Meanwhile, the number of organisms doesn't increase. So number of creatures and number of genotypes are equal, and the number of threshold genotypes equals 1. This means every execution of the divide command created a new and unique genotype, presumably by splitting a random string in 2 at a random location. The first appearance of a new cell, as evidenced by totals, did not occur until update 440. The second happened at update 1100. In normal living runs, even at high, near lethal mutation rates, reproduction occurs within only a few updates. Explanation, put simply, the population was dead. Yep, exactly what I said. Mr. Cardova observed was a slow, random activity of non-replicating random strings. Whether or not the strings of instructions existing in grid cells, genotypes are valid, replicating organisms, Evita will dutifully execute their instructions. In this case, the ancestor organism was thoroughly randomized in the first update, as would be expected, with a point mutation rate of 0.5. Yeah, it just became a random string. Because it's not even, they didn't even set it for a half of the sites. They set it for literally a 0.5 probability for each individual instruction. So literally each instruction has a 50-50 chance of mutating. Just crazy unrealistic. However, the execution of random computer instructions will occasionally include the execution of the, quote, allocate instruction, creating new room at the end of the, quote, unquote, genome if other instructions happen to have put a non-zero number in the appropriate register. Also, the occasional divide will execute when other instructions have loaded integer values into the appropriate register, meaning some piece of the randomized genome will get split into another grid cell. Exactly. That's what happens when that thing pops up and it looks like there's another organism, but there really isn't. There's just some piece of genome got copied over into a grid cell. Evita registers it, and then it can't reproduce because it's just random string. It's just a bit of a random string. Without the actual code for organized replication, this will occur very slowly, and all these divides will contain random length groups of random instructions. While yes, the process will slowly fill the grid cells, it is in no way analogous to life. Nothing is replicated with fidelity and no information is conserved. Conclusion, Mr. Cardova has experimentally demonstrated that there is no mechanism protecting genomes from randomization by killing the ancestor organism with a high mutation rate and observing the Brownian motion activity of dead random sequences of computer instructions. I believe the person who wrote this up is named Evan Dorn. Oh, yep, that was the person from the Adami lab. Perfect citation. Yep, Evan Dorn. I think he worked with Rob too. Maybe he's from the Pennock lab, I'm not sure. Or I forget what lab Dorn's in, I should say. Oh, the Adami group. There you go. Boom. Thanks, StupidWh0reEnergy. That was perfect. And I don't need to save it because I have the message. She is amazing. Amazing. But see, I said we were a good team. We'd be a good team, right? I did it. Then she came through and slammed it. So there you have Sal's response, and there you have the response of Evan Dorn. And you guys see it perfectly matches. I had not read StupidWh0reEnergy's message or pulled it up or read through it, but you saw I could just, not even using the research version of Evita, I could just pull up Evita Ed, crank up the mutation rate, and show you that eventually everything just dies. And that's exactly what that explanation that we saw afterward confirms, that Sal did the same exact thing and then has the audacity to sit here and act like he's somehow disproven Darwinian evolution by proving that he can break a computer program. Literally, like, Sal's an idiot, y'all. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for anybody. Sal's a fucking moron, and he doesn't understand evolution. He clearly doesn't understand mutations or natural selection. Go ahead.
Joel ran, I think, the .05 and just that, just to see what would happen.
Yeah, it's retarded.
He did it and a goof, yeah. And he's like, look at this, look at all this stuff. And he's like, look how big. And yeah, so he knew it was, wrong just because you can't enter those numbers.
Yeah, our students do this all the time. And I literally talk about this. Our students, and I'll give you guys a bit of background here. Avita Ed has a 2% mutation rate. Well, think about it. There's 50 instructions. So with a 2% mutation rate, you expect to see about, one mutation per replication, right?
3 to 5 generations.
Yeah, and if you crank it up, if you lower it a lot lower than that, it slows down, right? Because a 1% mutation rate would be 1 mutation every other replication rather than 1 per replication. And if you crank it up a lot higher than that, you get into the point where it's very hard to not hit the copy loop. So almost every year, groups do experiments where they vary the mutation rate. And some group always tries to go way high. They try to do, the default mutation rate is 2, so we'll do 2, 10, 20, and 30 or something like that. Something crazy. Or even a group will do 2, 8, 12, and 15. And all of these groups discover the same thing. Once you get beyond the expectation where almost every replication is going to end up with a mutation in the copy loop, you just end up in mutational meltdown. The fitness declines if organisms live at all. And then they all discover, oh my God, there's a reason the default mutation rate is set to 2%. And it makes perfect sense with evolutionary theory. And so literally when I say my students can debunk this, I mean my students can debunk this because they all themselves conduct experiments where they manipulate the mutation rate and they organically find out all of these lessons about mutational meltdown. They literally teach it to themselves because they try to figure out experiments and they go, oh yeah, every time we crank the mutation rate up too high, everything dies. So you literally 10th graders can figure this out. It's so easy. And so that's how silly Sal is. Shame. He's just done. He's just done. Yeah. But speaking of Gather, y'all, look, let me give y'all a little preview of what's going on in Gather, man. Let me give y'all a little preview. Y'all don't understand, man. Every night in Gather, we have an overnight playlist. See, last night we were watching Uncle Bobby, some Noam Chomsky. See, some of the stuff we watched on the show. But look, what y'all don't realize is after the show's over, this is the playlist we watch. We watched 3 episodes of Tales from the Crypt. We watch War Games, Teen Wolf, Ernest Rides Again, Dead Like Me, Stay Tuned, Rob B. Hood, The Edge. This is the overnight playlist. And it plays overnight like a theater. We even ended with that Why We Are Doomed and Bill Nye Tours the Ark Encounter. We watch whatever we want. Pay-per-views, wrestling events. And this weekend, it's Halloween. So look at the Halloween weekend playlist. Look, I got nothing but features on this. A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Walk the Line, The A-Team, Poltergeist 2, Hannibal, The Legend of Zorro, Rudy, House Party 2, Can't Hardly Wait, School Days, Shade, 51st Day. What more? We're going to just keep adding more classics. Yeah, we could play the hotel game, but I'm going to play it in Gather because I don't want to be on YouTube anymore. Yeah, let's play it in Gather. We blow
this popsicle stand?
Yeah, let's blow this popsicle stand. StupidWh0reEnergy, come to Gather so we could have more fun and not worry about YouTube and play whatever music we want. So yeah, guys, come to Gather. We'll play. Actually, you need to come help us because I don't know how to get through that hotel. I don't know what to do in the hotel. But yeah, come and gather. We'll play some hotel, and then we'll play some movies. Appreciate everybody. StupidWh0reEnergy, thanks so much for sending in that stuff about Sal. We're going to play some games and have some fun and gather, play some movies. Come join us, and we'll see you all this weekend. In the name of Darwin, the Dawkins, and the Christopher Hitchens, science bless you all.